I'm here to encourage and strengthen the heart of somebody going through a situation and you're wondering, God, why am I going through this? There was an event in the Bible I would like to share with you just to strengthen your heart about whatever it is you are going through right now. There's a young man in the Bible by the name Joseph. This man had a dream. He didn't ask for the dream, but God put the dream in his heart. Out of excitement, out of joy, he ran to his brothers and was sharing with them, considering them as his partner, as his friend, as his paddies, He told them everything and they had the dream. It made them angry and they hated him because of the dream. The fact that his dad also loved him more than them also compounded the situation. All of them saw him from afar and they unanimously decided they were going to harm him. Can you see the case of conspiracy and betrayal in a family towards their blood brother? He was not aware of what they were deciding. He was coming with excitement just to join them. And they nabbed him, removed his clothes, put him in a pit. And the Bible said they sat down and they were eating, comfortably eating, while they put their younger brother in the pit. They now decided his fate, either to kill him or to make him alive. But one of them spoke out, voiced. Initially, they have all been speaking and deciding what evil they were to do to him. But one of them spoke and voiced out, and that was Judah. Judah voiced out, why don't we sell him off to the Ishmaelites and we will never have to see him again? The others agreed and they succumbed to that suggestion and they sold him out to the Ishmaelites. Apparently, you know that the Ishmaelites were actually their cousins? If you trace down from Abraham to Jacob, you will discover that Ishmaelites were actually their cousins. So they sold him out to slavery. In their hearts, they had done well, they had fulfilled their motive and their agenda, and they were happy with the choice and decision of wickedness, conspiracy, and betrayal against their blood brother. What an evil act. When God was going to judge this matter, they did not know that God, who sits in the heavens, the God who watches over the deeds and the acts of men, was watching them and observing their wickedness that they were perpetrating. They thought they had done it and they had covered it up and nobody knows about it or nobody knew about it. But they didn't know. They had forgotten that there is one person who sits upon the circles of the earth and who gives to every man according to his works and according to his doing. There is one person that has a name in my local dialect that is called Ogbeni Ninja Keruba Oninja. What does that mean? The one who avenges for you or fights for you or defends, and you that you have been defended, you become scared at the terribleness of the judgment God is meeting on your enemies. You become scared for your enemy. You become afraid for your enemy by virtue of the vengeance and the way God is avenging you over their evil deeds and evil acts. By the time when God was going to mete out judgment on Judah, in fact, I, as a person, when I read it, I became afraid. I became scared that God, it's not worth this much. But I can't weigh the judgment. Judgment is not in the hand of any man for another person's evil. Judgment is in the hand of God. God made out this judgment on Judah and you'll be scared. Please read Genesis chapter 37 and chapter 38. The chapter where the act was perpetrated was Genesis chapter 37. The very next chapter, which was Genesis chapter 38, when God began to mete judgment onto Judah, you will be scared. Now, what happened? Judah took a wife. She had 3 sons and a daughter. The name of the first son is the second one was Onan, the third one was Sheila, and he had a daughter by the name Shua. When God began to make judgment on them, the Bible said his first son married, but he didn't have a child. And the Bible said that God saw this guy, his name is that he was a wicked man. So we can invariably say that he inherited the DNA of wickedness from his father. And the Bible said God slew him because he was wicked. It's not that man killed him. No man killed him. But God slew him. So most likely his father had grade 1 of wickedness. He had grade 2. So he gave Tamar, which was the wife of his first son, to his second son, whose name was Onan, to marry. So Onan in himself thought of it that if I sleep with this woman and she has a child, the child will not be mine, it's going to be my brother's. So he decided that when he's meeting with her, when he's being intimate with her, he's going to, spill the semen on the ground so that he will not have any reason for her, so that there will be no reason for her to conceive of him. And the Bible said God saw that act and God was displeased by it. And because of that very act, God killed the second son. That was Onan. Can you imagine if we were to think it with our mind? There are people who are doing so much wickedness in our present time, far worse than what that guy did, and yet they are still alive. But God met that guy with the sentence of death because there was an evil perpetrated in his lineage that had not been repented of. There was an evil perpetrated in his lineage that the judgment was being meted upon him. So Er, the first son, died. Onan, the second son, died. Now here was the third son, who was Sheila. The Judah now thought in himself, I don't want my third son to die. Let me send this young lady, Tamar, back to her father's house. Told her, go back to your father's house, okay? When my son is fully grown, I will send for you, and then you can have a child with him. And the lady went back to her father's house, sent away empty-handed. Now, what is the sin of Tamar? She did not commit any sin. She was just an instrument that God was using to meet judgment in the house of Judah. She was innocent of the thing that had occurred in that family. She was innocent of the evil that was already existing in that family. She was innocent of the judgment that God was meeting on that family. She was just an instrument, and she happened to be the one who was, who felt the sorrow as well, because the first husband died, the second husband died, and now they will not allow her to fulfill her own dream and her own destiny. Invariably, the family of Judah was suffering for the sin that Judah had perpetrated, inclusive his daughter-in-law. Judah had only one daughter by the name Shua. She also, the Bible said, died. So, in the lifetime of Judah, he saw the death of 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter, the only daughter. Why did all this before him? He conspired against his blood brother. He betrayed his blood brother. He didn't know God was watching. He did not know the way God would judge his evil. And when God was going to judge his evil, it was in a terrible, fearful, and fearsome way. Now, here was this young lady, Tamar, the daughter-in-law. She heard that her father-in-law was traveling, and she quickly organized herself, dressed herself up like an harlot, and went to wait at the junction. The father-in-law passing by thought she was an harlot, went in and slept with her. And the lady said, what are you going to give me for sleeping with me? Ron's girl, what are you going to pay me for my services? Judah now said, I'll give you a goat. Of course, he didn't carry a goat on his journey. He said, I'm going to send it through a friend. I'm going to send it to you. The lady now said, give me your ring. Give me your ring, your band, and your staff as a collateral that you will send to me. So when you send the goat out, I'll release back all this property back to you. He said, no problem, fine. He gave it to her. He now sent a friend to go give the goat to the harlot that was sitting by the junction, and they discovered that there was no harlot there. 3 months later, they told him that your daughter-in-law is pregnant. He was furious. He said, call her for me and let me burn her. Let me kill her. So you see, he has already had the mentality and mindset of death because he has been surrounded by death. So everything around him must die. His son died. His daughter died. Daughter-in-law too, you want her dead. You didn't let the girl go to fulfill her dream. You sent her to her father's house. keeping her on the waiting list. Now you add that she's pregnant. You still will not allow her to fulfill her dream. So do we now consider that Judah was possibly someone who wanted to kill the dream of people who have dreams? This young lady was not able to fulfill her dream because she was married into the family of Judah. But when the lady came with all her evidences and he saw it, he shouted, "Ha! You are more righteous than I am." And truly, she was. The lady, Tamar, was innocent. She was not aware of anything that was going on in the family. She only met the evil there. Unknowingly, she was partaking of the evil, and she, by the divine wisdom, bailed herself out and washed her hand clean. Judah considered, he acknowledged, and he confessed his unrighteousness. As God used Tamar to reveal to him the wickedness of his heart and to reveal to him the judgment he has brought upon his household, and to reveal to him that Tamar is actually innocent. Perhaps you are the one God is using to meet judgment upon someone. It may look like that. You may not know it, you may not understand it. Tamar may not know it, she may not understand it. But at the end of the day, God vindicated her. The sentence that would have resulted into her death now made her to live, and she gave birth to a set of twins at the end of the day. So don't give up. God will fight for you. Meanwhile, the same Joseph that was sold out into slavery was being prevented to fulfill his dream, was on his way to fulfilling his dream. Joseph was in the house of Potiphar. Fine, he still met with Waterloo. He still met with another trial and temptation. He was unaware of what was going on in the life of his brother, Judah. He was doing his own thing, possibly in the house of Potiphar, or possibly that time he was in the prison, or possibly he was on the way to his throne. God was judging his brother. Behind the scene, God was judging the conspirators and the betrayers. Behind the scene, God was ensuring that those who vowed that his dream would not come to pass, their own dreams too were cut short. For Judah to lose 3 children meant 3 dreams were cut short. For you as a person, please avoid conspiring against your fellow brother, whether in the family or in the church or in the neighborhood, wherever you are. Avoid conspiracy, avoid betrayal. If you want to help people, help them. If you can't help them, leave them and just pray for them. It is better for you to leave people than sit down and conspire to do evil against them. It's going to backfire. You may look like you have succeeded, but the one who sits upon the circles of the earth and gives to every man according to his doing will not forget your acts. The way he's going to judge you and judge the case, you may underestimate it. You may not imagine it's going to come that way. The way God judged Judah, for me, was really terrible, was great, was too much. But who am I to tell God the way to judge anybody? Every man will reap the reward of his works. Every man will reap the seed he has sown. Judah reaped it in no small manner. Don't plant the seed that you would not like the tree and the fruits that will come forth from it. Be good, be kind to others. If you can't be good to them, you can't be kind to them, then leave them alone. And for you that is a victim, don't fight for yourself. God will fight for you. Your tears, your pain, your sorrow, God sees it. He will wipe it away and give you double for your trouble. Hold your peace and let God fight for you. What way, which way, it's not for you to worry about. Don't take the battle to the gates of the enemy. Take the battle to the throne of the Lord. He will definitely fight for you. God bless you till I come your way again. Remain ever blessed.